Political paradigm also had a big thing to do with this because before we were talking about gay marriage, that was a big thing, and now we're on it. That was 50 light years ago. We're talking about a whole new universe of political chaos that we've entered into. And so it's interesting. I've seen a lot of the atheist channels I used to follow move from bashing religion to promoting leftism. Now I find that very interesting, that how deeply, because they were always progressive, but now that's their primary thing, is kind of protecting the marginalized against the radical Christian right who's seeking to destroy the good things that this movement has created.
Well, and not to get too deep into politics, but the two are inextricably intertwined at this moment in cultural history. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I have seen examples of where Richard Dawkins, for example, is horrified by kind of the woke radical left, as it's often referred to as. I have atheist friends who hate Dawkins because they think he's kind of sold out the purity of the movement, that he's almost become a conservative because he's not left enough. I mean, Richard Dawkins, though, he's come to that interesting point of attending a Catholic mass, I believe, because he appreciates the cultural quality of it. A whole subject unto itself. But apart from elements like that in his life, this is hardly a man, this is hardly Ben Shapiro incarnated. No. This is still a progressive, anti-theistic man, but with the intertwining of politics and culture, he's no longer, let's just say, functionally, he's no longer atheistic enough for people. That's not the atheism, whatever you want to ascribe to that nebulous term. That's not it's because the politics have become so connected to it. And it's a place as Christians we have to be aware it's where people are at, obviously. But in objective terms, it's not a terribly helpful place because of all the endeavors in human life, the act of politicking is the least rational and least subject to logical discussion. So at least in the optimistic days, maybe atheists would sometimes behave badly in debates, but at least they would have the debates. And if you had one, Sam Harris was probably a good example. I never really watched him debate much, but I've listened to some of his stuff, and he's certainly sharp in his rejection of Christianity and other traditional religion. Islam has actually always been his main target, interestingly enough. But he could actually have a reasoned discussion with people he disagreed with on religion, politics, history, whatever. It sounds like you're saying, beginning with the sewage of the online wars of the 2010s, and then, if anything, becoming even worse today as the politics became more and more a part of it. Your experience has been that's just no longer possible. Am I right?
I think people are less willing to talk than ever, have dialogues. And that's human nature. We prefer our echo chambers, but it's not the most productive place to be.
Right. And obviously by putting out programs like this, we're hoping to break through a little bit of that. I mean, whoever's going to hear will hear, and whoever doesn't. That's kind of Christian theology. It's, throw seeds, God gives the increase. I'm not saying by like the magical power of Christian love or whatever we're hopefully embodying that we're going to break through a culture full of social brokenness and online fragmentation and atomization. But